Today I have a story of the Devil Donna, complete saga with 7 complete updates, and guess what? This person, Devil Donna, might be hands down the most toxic person we've ever had on the channel. Yeah, even rivaling Stabra. I never could imagine the pain that I would feel when I lost my father due to cancer. It was a battle that's been fighting for years, and despite all of our efforts and the best medical care that money could buy, he just couldn't beat it. I'd always been close with my dad, and I adored him more than anything in the world. He was always there for me, no matter what, having a heart full of gold. He always put others before himself, and I was so lucky to have him as my father. But as he lay there on his deathbed, I knew that our time together on this earth was coming to an end. I held his hand and touched him, and told him how much I loved him, and how grateful I was for everything that he's done for me. He looked at me and smiled weakly and told me how proud of me he really was, how much he loved me too. It was indeed a heartfelt, wrenching moment, one that I will never forget. And as I watched him take his last breath standing next to him, I knew that my life would never be the same again. In the days and weeks that followed, I struggled to come to terms with my father's death. It was a difficult time, and I found myself feeling lost and alone. But things took an even darker turn when I discovered that my father's sister, a woman who I've nicknamed Devil Donna, had set up a plan to steal all my father's inheritance. She had convinced my dad to sign over his will and estate just weeks before he passed. When he wasn't in the best state of mind and could not think clearly, I was devastated by this news. I could not believe that my aunt, someone who was supposed to be part of my family, could be so cruel and selfish. I knew that I had to do something to stop her, but I wasn't sure where to start. As I struggled to come up with a plan, I knew that I had to be strong. I had to find a way to fight for what was rightfully mine, and it's to honor my father's memory. And so, with a heavy heart, I began the long and difficult journey of taking down Devil Donna and reclaiming my inheritance that was rightfully mine. Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here. I have 7 updates for this story. This next post wasn't updated for about a month. The title for the next update is called The Fight, and let me just tell you, Devil Donna might simply be the most evil person I've ever read in any story. Let's get into update number 1, The Fight. The fight between Devil Donna and myself was something that I could have never predicted. I'd always tried to avoid confrontation, especially with family members, but when I discovered what she's done, I knew I couldn't just sit back and let her get away with it. I hired the best inheritance lawyers in the state of Texas, determined to fight what was rightfully mine. And when Devil Donna found out, she was livid. She came over to my house screaming and yelling, trying to intimidate me into backing down, but I wasn't going to let her bully me. I stood my ground, and I refused to back down, and when she tried to physically attack me, I had no choice but to defend myself. It was a chaotic scene, with both of us pulling and pushing and throwing punches. I'm not sure how long it went on, but it felt like an eternity. Eventually, the neighbors called the police, and when they arrived, they saw that I was just defending myself. Devil Donna was arrested, and I was left standing there shaken but relieved that it was finally all over. But as I watched her being led away in handcuffs, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness. This was my own aunt, someone who was supposed to be a part of my family. How could she have turned out to be such a heartless, selfish person? After she bailed out, though, Devil Donna tried to act like everything was fine, hunky-dory, like she just made a simple mistake. But it was obvious that she was just trying to trick me once again. I could see the hatred and greed in her eyes that she could not hide, and I knew that she was still coming after my inheritance. I wasn't going to let her get away with it, though. I'd come too far and fought too hard to give up now. I was determined to do whatever it took to protect what was mine, even if it meant going up against my own family. It was heartbreaking, one that I've never imagined before, but I knew that I had to be strong, and that I could not let Devil Donna win. So I continued to fight, determined to see it through to the end no matter what the cost. Update 2. Devil Donna strikes again. I couldn't believe it when Devil Donna showed up at my workplace just a few weeks before the inheritance trial. I'd been doing my best to avoid her, but she seemed to have a sixth sense for when and where I would be. She burst into my office screaming and yelling, threatening me, trying to intimidate me into dropping the case. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. I was terrified. The security guards of the building quickly intervened, escorting her out of the building. But the damage had already been done. I was left shaking and visibly upset, and my heart was pounding in my chest. To make matters worse, I was actually written up for my aunt's behavior. It was my first job after college, and I was trying to make a good impression. But thanks to Devil Donna, I was now in danger of getting fired. I couldn't believe the situation I found myself in. Here I was, fighting for what was rightfully mine, and not only was I being opposed by my own aunt, but now I was being punished for her actions. It was just unfair. And to make matters even worse, the rest of my family seemed to be taking Devil Donna's side. They thought that I was just a spoiled, rotten brat who would be spending all the inheritance on boys and designer clothing. They had no idea how hard I worked and how close I was to my father, and how much I've sacrificed to get where I was. I was starting to feel like I was all alone in this fight, but I refused to give up. I knew that I had to keep moving no matter what, how hard it got, and so on. With a heavy heart, I prepared myself for the next chapter in this as I walked to my car. After that workday, I noticed that all 4 of my tires have been sliced. It was clear to me that this was the work of Devil Donna, trying to intimidate me once again and make me back down. Like I said, I wasn't going to let her win. I was more determined than ever to fight for what was mine. No matter what it took, I knew it would not be easy, but I prepared to do whatever it took to see this end. What's up, guys? Mr. Reddito here. Update 3 is coming up next. It's called the Court Battle. I hope you're enjoying this saga about the Devil Donna, and the next update after the court battle is simply going to leave you absolutely stunned. So, let's go ahead and jump into Update 3, the court battle. The trial, well, it was long and a grueling process, but in the end it was worth it. My lawyer had hired a handwriting expert to analyze my father's signature on the documents. It was found with 99.9% certainty to be a phony. Fake. When the judge heard this, he threw out the case immediately, clearly disgusted by Devil Donna's actions. He then asked me if I wanted to press charges for fraud against my aunt. I looked Devil Donna straight in the face, then back to the judge. With a smile on my face, I said yes. Firmly. Press those damn charges. The look on Devil Donna's face was one of pure hatred. She glared at me, clearly seething with anger, but I didn't care. I'd won. She'd lost. But as the trial came to a close and the reality of my victory started to sink in, I noticed a change in the way my family treated me. They've all been so against me during the fight for the inheritance, siding with Devil Donna and thinking that I was just a selfish brat. But now, as they saw how hard I fought and how much I sacrificed, they started to forgive me. They realized that I wasn't the person they thought I was, and that I only have been fighting for what was mine. It was a long and difficult journey, but in the end, it's worth it. I stood up for myself, and I came out on top. As I looked around at my family, who were now all ears, smiling and supportive, I knew I finally found the place in the world. I'd proven myself to be strong and capable, and I was ready to take on whatever came my way. Or so I thought. Update number 4, Arson Expert. I couldn't believe it when I woke up to the smell of burning and saw that my house was on fire. I barely managed to escape out the window with my cat Fluffy. My heart was racing in my chest as I stood there watching the firefighters put out the flames. I couldn't believe what was happening. More than half of my house was destroyed. It was clear that this was no accident. The arson police arrived on scene, and within just a few minutes they determined this was indeed attempted murder. The main suspect was none other than Devil Donna. I was in shock. How could my own aunt, someone who was supposed to be part of my family, now try to kill me? It was just too much to comprehend. As the investigation got underway, I couldn't help but feel scared and vulnerable. I knew that Devil Donna wasn't going down without a fight, and I wasn't sure what she might do next. I started to worry about my safety, and I knew that I needed to be extra careful. I started staying with friends and family, never staying at one place for too long. I was constantly looking over my shoulder, afraid that Devil Donna might show up and try to finish me off. It was a difficult and stressing time. I found myself struggling to sleep and focus on anything else. All I could honestly do was think about Devil Donna and the danger she posed. But despite all of this, I refused to let her win. I was determined to stay my ground and fight for what was mine, no matter the cost. I knew that it wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to do whatever it took to keep myself and my loved ones safe. Update number 5. Empty-handed. Despite my best efforts, the arson police just could not seem to link Devil Donna to the fire that destroyed my house. They'd gotten a warrant to search her home, as she was the primary suspect. But sadly, they came up empty-handed. There was just no evidence to connect her to the crime. At this point, I was now really scared. I knew that Devil Donna was mad and coming to get some revenge before her fraud trial. I was terrified that she might try to kill me again. I just couldn't shake the feeling that she was trying to silence me, to get rid of me before I could testify. It was a scary and stressful time, and I found myself constantly looking over my shoulder left and right, wondering if Devil Donna was lurking in the shadows. I knew that I had to be extra careful, but no matter what I did, I just couldn't shake the feeling that she was always one step ahead of me. I started to think I was never going to catch her, that she would always just be getting away with her crimes, no matter what. But then, just when I started to lose hope, I realized the biggest mistake Devil Donna's ever made. On the night of the fire, she left behind a piece of evidence that was going to damn her. It's her downfall. I knew that with this new piece of information, Devil Donna was no more. She was finally going to get what was coming to her, and I was going to make sure of it. I couldn't wait to see the look on her face when I presented this evidence. I knew that she was going to regret ever crossing me, and I was going to make sure that she paid for everything that she's done. As I sat there plotting my next move, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. I knew that I finally outsmarted Devil Donna, and that she was going to get what she deserved. I actually felt a part of her rubbing off on me, and I liked it. Hey guys, Mr. Edito here. So update 6 is coming up. The title is Devil Donna is Toast. If you want to support the channel before update 6, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and sit back and relax because this update is absolutely insane. As the months dragged on, it seemed like Devil Donna's court case was just never going to happen. The pandemic had caused huge delays in the courts, and it seemed like they were stuck in a never-ending cycle of waiting and frustration. But despite all of this, I refused to give up. I'd been working closely with my lawyers, determined to get my hands on that piece of evidence that I knew would prove Devil Donna guilt. I remembered how the city had installed new security camera lights on every road of the newly built neighborhood complex, attached to all the stop signs. They were there to prevent people from running the stop signs, but I knew that if I could get my hands on that footage, it would prove that Devil Donna had been there at my house the night of the fire. I worked tirelessly with my lawyer, trying to get the city to release the footage. It was a long and difficult process, but eventually we were able to obtain the cameras from the city. And when we looked through the footage, there was Devil Donna, coming down the road in her big old pickup truck, headed straight for my house, and in the back of her truck, you could visibly see cans of diesel fuel. My lawyer and I could not help but smile uncontrollably as we realized that we finally got her. We knew that this was the evidence we needed to put Devil Donna behind bars where she belonged. As soon as my lawyer and I had the new evidence in hand, we went straight to the police. We knew that we had to act fast before Devil Donna had a chance to do any more harm. The police were forced to take action with this new evidence, and they arrested Devil Donna. They charged her for attempted bodily harm by arson. It was a serious charge with a minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. Now, Devil Donna was facing 2 charges, one for fraud and one for arson. The fraud case was going to be heard first, and as I walked into that courtroom with my lawyer on that faithful day, I couldn't help but feel a sense of nervousness. My evil aunt was sitting at the defense table, glaring at me with a look of demon in her eyes. She'd always been a toxic presence in my life, and I was terrified of what she might do if she gets away with this. But, as it turned out, I had nothing to be afraid of. The judge took one look at the evidence, and it was clear that the Devil Donna was guilty. She was sentenced to 7 years in prison, and would have to return to court in a few months to face her arson trial. I was happy with this news. I knew that I could finally start my own life, safe and away from all this toxic family and environment. I was free to move on and be my own person, and I couldn't wait to see the future and what it had in store for me. As I left the courthouse with my lawyer by my side, I knew that this was just the beginning. There was still one more trial to go, though, and I was determined to see it through and get justice, no matter what happened. I knew, though, I've already won, but it still felt great to stand up for myself and fight for what was rightfully mine. Alright, Mr. Reddito here. If you thought the story was over, well, you were wrong. There's one more final update, and it has a little bit of information that I promise nobody saw coming. Update 7, titled The Arson Trial. Well, during the time of the arson trial, I sat in the courtroom once again, waiting for the judge to deliver his verdict. I knew that this time, Devil Donna was not going to get off easy. The evidence against her was overwhelming, with the security footage and another piece of evidence that I didn't even know existed. A picture taken by the arson police of a footprint in the morning grass dew from a woman's foot. When the police first raided Devil Donna's house, they found no evidence of the matching shoe. But as karma would have it, the day that Devil Donna was arrested for the fraud charge and sent to jail, she was wearing those damn shoes that were a perfect match. It was all the evidence that the juror needed to find her guilty, and when the judge delivered the verdict, I could not believe my ears. Devil Donna, sentenced to 35 years in the slammer, which meant it was a death sentence and she would be in her 90s when she got out. As I left the courthouse that day, I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. Revenge was sweet, and Devil Donna was no more. I was finally free to move on with my life and put this entire drama behind me once and for all. As I walked out into the sunshine, I knew that a new chapter in my life was beginning. I was free to be my own person, to live my own terms, and pursue my own dreams. I knew it wouldn't be easy, and that there would be challenges ahead, but I was ready to face them with confidence and determination. I've come a long way since the days when Devil Donna tried to steal my inheritance and destroy me. I stood up for myself and fought for what was rightfully mine, and I'd come out on top. And as I looked back at the courthouse, I knew that I've left the drama and that toxic family behind me for good. I was moving on to a brighter future. I couldn't wait to see what the world has in store for me. So long, Devil Donna. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Devil Donna was going to steal the inheritance, yeah, that's horrible, but guess what? We've seen it maybe 100 times on the channel. People try to steal inheritance. That's not what makes Devil Donna the absolute devil in her name. What happened next with the arson is absolutely crazy. Not only is this person evil enough to try to steal from someone who's grieving their lost father, oh no, she's going to try to kill that person. With fraud, with arson, attempted murder. I could not believe the pure evil in this lady. Guys, let me know your thoughts. I have one question for you. Is Devil Donna worse than Stabra? I know that's a hard question to answer. If no one knows who Stabra is, she was quite possibly the worst character that we've ever read in these stories. And right now, based on your comments, Stabra's in first place. So, I'm going to pin the comment down below. It's going to say Stabra or Devil Donna? Let's have a vote. Guys, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next Saga story.